Prince is continuing his business and truth for the community as I am. I don't even understand. Like I said, I don't know what you guys
who the
have
fuck
going
is
on.
Wack100,
You guys
man?
heard that's above my, my reach, but personally, I haven't got any direction, nor do I feel to anybody, man.
Kind of longer my fro get that.
This out of pocket. I ain't gonna lie. This out of pocket. Him sitting here talking to them like that, bro. Or talking to her like that.
milk74.
Like,
Hey, side note, I kind of fuck with milk74. I had a homeboy like him who somehow was detached from his white relatives or family or whatever. Ended up being raised in the hood. He was adamantly against saying the N-word. I mean, he detested that shit. You know, he was like, when you reach a certain age, we'll say about like 24, 25, depending on how you've been living, you start to notice friendship and what it really means. You know what I'm saying? He was a real friend. My nigga Ghost. Kyle Kettle Hut. R.I.P. dog. His funeral was the funniest shit ever. It was sadly funny because he had all these black people who were really, it's not funny, but it was his white relatives from Canada who hadn't seen, talked to him, or cared about him, but he had just got a lawsuit before he died, so they was there. And then it was his black family who couches he'd been sleeping on and people he'd been hustling with and spotting with and roommating with and me, because me and him, I had like 3 or 4 people who I knew from being illegit that we were all going legit together. That was what me and his friendship was built on. Not we worked together, nothing like that, but just so happened that we was super duper in the street and was trying to do something different. So our relationship was very dear to me, you know. So, weird thing. But back to them. I almost got lost for a minute. R.I.P. to that nigga, you know what I'm saying? That's, thinking about it, as far as people who I would call my friends, like my real friends, you know, like, shit, I done lost 2 out the bunch already. And my big brother, you know. I kind of always just keep going. Kind of don't like think about stuff like that, but in these ventures and endeavors I got going on now, I know all 3 of them would have been active. And I know all 3 of them would have been worth their weight in gold. And then as I see how different things work, I see different places where all 3 of them individually would have fit in and, you know, but we ain't gonna get into that. You know, I owe them niggas. What you say what you owe them, what that mean? You know what I'm saying? My brother had did a lot of favors for people and protected a lot of people. You know, I'm pretty sure he took a lot of shit too, you know what I'm saying? But he never got the opportunity to drop his nuts and use his connections. Never. He never got the opportunity to legitimately do that. And he was working for that. I carry that. My man's bum, Chico, he never had his own individual dream per se. His whole thing was keeping commerce amongst his homies in his hood. He was, and being a father, to be honest with you, that's all he cared about. If anything, he probably would have liked to have more money, but then again, knowing him, he wouldn't, because he knew what he would have did with it. He'd have just blew it on his kids and his homies every day, all day. He wanted us all to be together and work together. In his mind, well, he already made us all work together through him, so I can't say he was wrong. I carry that. You know. My nigga Ghost, Kyle, his thing was all that effort we put into the streets. And once he peeped out being legit worked, being legit with a side hustle, once he peeped how that shit worked, he's turned out. Once he started understanding what he could do, you know what I'm saying? He had gotten an accident riding with some motherfuckers that ain't had shit going on in life and nearly fucked up his legitimacy. And no sooner than that bitch got on his feet, he was back at it. Another car, then he bought a van. I remember when he pulled up on me, he had upgraded to Don Julio. He pulled up to see the new house that I had got at that time. He wanted to show me his van that had the electric doors. This nigga was just happy as a sissy with a bag full of dicks, boy, I'm trying to tell you. You know, and he had a nice girl and shit was coming together for him, you know what I'm saying? But he had that lawsuit coming. I don't know if people were stressing him out or if he was stressed out. He was getting his strength back. I remember he used to always test me like, nigga, push my hand, He wanted to, you know, or at least let me know he was getting his strength back. But just the fact that he survived that shit and didn't hold his head down was good enough for me. But I saw him getting stronger. I don't know what the fuck happened to my dog. Just one night, this girl called me like he did. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, back to this milk. Back to this milk74 nigga. In this wack100 recording. I ain't never heard of the F.B.I. calling nobody. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it's illegal for them to reach out to you if you got a lawyer on file. Somebody at a wack100 level would have a lawyer on file. And if the FBI was going to reach out to them, they would have to reach out to the lawyer or probably by mail. But I've never been on that side of the game, so I can't exactly tell you. But what I do know, on my side of the game, my bitch do my nails. Anyway, that ain't right. That ain't right at all. I remember once I was dealing with this dude, we gonna call Eminem, we gonna call him Eminem, you know what I'm saying? I used to call him Slim Shady. Down the way, you know? And he had ventured off into sampling the wares, is what we gonna call it. He was sampling the wares. And I get down there, now all type of other shit didn't happen because I got, as usual, I got like 4 operations simultaneously running in the same town. And then all of these operations got offspring. Some in bulk, some in breakdown, some in whatever the fuck. So my shit across the street was fucked up. Pull up on him. Yo, I need this to do this and that, you know. What can we do? Come to find out, he got a whole nother different level, a whole nother different side of heat on him. And it's a task force. Now, some of you may not know, but a task force is when an investigation starts on one level, but they ain't got it laterally and they want to get everybody. So a task force might consist of the local PD, the sheriff, the state police, the DEA, the FBI. It's going to consist of a group of people because they're not exactly sure what laws you breaking fully. Or you might be breaking laws with all of them. You know what I'm saying? And depending on which one got the better case is the one that takes it, you know, or, you know, so task force on over there. We ain't gonna say what they know my name is, but so I'm unbeknownst to this. And the young lady I was with when I went down there, this is why she may not understand this, but I fuck with her for life. Matter of fact, all the young ladies that was around me at this time, I fuck with them for life. They can always call me for shit. They don't like that, but I mean, they love it. They don't like that shit. Because it's like, if you got my back like that, then you could just be my man. So it's kind of like tormenting to them, which I'm starting to understand now. But, What the fuck can I do? I feel like I owe you. I love you. I just ain't that nigga for you. But I will be that nigga for you. If you wanna, you know. Word. Anyways. We get down there. I take her to the room. You know what I'm saying? Shoot off to him. Get to him. He take me on a venture ride to introduce me to some whatever. Long story short, in the process, one of the people he got stretching dollars and dimes for him is unhappy with him and telling on him. Now down there, snitching works different. You tell on somebody, they immediately let you go. Then they tell on somebody, motherfuckers get told on, immediately let go all the time. And then these cops recycle these people for their new cases and benefits. So it's like they always getting bust. Even though some of these people is getting in and out of jail with a shitload of charges till they get knocked in the head. Bam. Long story short, it's a detective with a hard on for my mans. He got his claws in him, so you think. The detective dirty too, because everybody down there on pills and shit. So even if he clean, he's still dirty. Somebody in his house is on pills. Now they don't promote that shit how they showed us on crack. They don't promote that. But let me tell you, it's a whole lot of non-melanated people, a lot more than it is melanated people, on welfare and getting cash assistance on them pills. Banging them. Fat welfare money too. Anyway, this motherfucker decides to go to the detective through a dope fiend bitch they both fucking and offer him a payoff. Now mind you, this nigga just bought a big house and a car. I got shit going on now. You talking about a payoff? Like, I mean, we might have could have gave somebody 50,000 and then not have hurted the operation. But anything more than that, it would have been an issue. Shit, I had fucking 12 employees myself. I had to keep 100,000 on deck just to cover the pill order. See, that's what people don't understand. Like, even if your profit about selling drugs and shit, like even if your profit margin is big, you still got to cover the cost of the shit on the street and the shit coming in and the cost of what's going on because it's illegal. And then you got to cover the illegal costs and the security costs. So that's why people who sold drugs, when you get an opportunity in the legit business, they just blow out because it's a three-legged stool instead of a fucking five-leg torment. Anyway, he told me that shit. I knew it was over. Nah, in the middle of this conversation, I'm dropping off about because I sent that bill money. It's probably about like $15,000-$16,000 in play on my end. You know, profit-wise, with him, I was getting like maybe like 20%. So $15,000-$16,000 of my cash out of my pocket, and what was supposed to come back to me, we talking about like $22,000-$23,000. The extremely low numbers. But for my operation, I had shit going in bulk, because you gotta have shit going in bulk so you can keep cash in hand. You know what I'm saying? I had shit going on breakdown. I had, again, this is why you can take a drug dealer right out, a black drug dealer right out the street, put him in a boardroom, and it's gonna be magic. So after this happened, my one brain, she wasn't with me. I called her on the phone on the way back to, Miss Make Me Feel Good. Tell her what's going on. We make the decision that I'm gonna have to cut bait and run. And I'm gonna have to sting everybody because I don't know how much they done stung me. Shit. And that's what it was. whole bunch of weird shit happened after that. You know what I'm saying? I ended up washing my hands completely. But the moral of that story is, I done went all over the place. The moral of that story is some people don't call you. When they own you, they own you. And when my other people got caught, because they was already nabbed, they tried to tie them in with them. They end up in a bullpen or in a transition with motherfucking Slim Shady ass. And these motherfuckers in there discussing the case, but shit, I got 2 and 3 different names. I sent down other people with the bail money, you know what I'm saying? 5 phones. And then this is the cost of being a boss. When that shit happened, I had to make it all of my inner circle. Banks, phone numbers, addresses, cards, everything had to change. And that's why some of these guys can't say they're a boss, because they not gonna pay that cost. Now, back to this wack100, this J Prince shit, man, this is whack. I wouldn't give a fuck if the feds did call you. For 1, why you recording it? For 2, why you talking to them? For 3, why you putting it out to us? Ain't none of this shit helping the situation. And then the promotion of us doing wrong to each other is bullshit. So now you about to tell me you saved them? Come on, man. And the problem with the world is there's a lot of wack100s out of here. It's a lot of J Princes out here. I look at the situation he didn't put himself in. That's just like I did a YouTube video talking about the killers in my family and how I avoided it, right? You know what happened? You know what happened? I can't say I avoided it no more. I can't say I ain't never did that to another melanated person no more. Can't. Motherfucker try to do it to me. So, as men, we all know, things we talk about got power, especially black men, we all know. That's why most of us try to say we spiritual and we powerful, and we just try not to have a conversation about how powerful the things we say are, especially when you're saying something that's not in your best interest. That shit happen immediately. You only got to say that once or twice, 3 times maybe. But something that's in your best interest, you might have to say that shit 100 times. But nonetheless, if you're willing to put the effort in, it's coming. So I don't know why he would do that. I don't know what the fuck wack100 is selling. I don't know why he picking J Prince. And as a father, every time I look at Jay, because being short and dark skinned, it's 2 people I respected as a kid. No, 3. It was Too Short, Eazy-E, and then when I figured out who J Prince was, I didn't necessarily know all this other shit that everybody else know about him, but like at first Ghetto Boys was an independent thing, but then Rap-A-Lot had so many other things. It's like, well, who's the guy? Okay, that's the guy. You know, because believe it or not, there was a time Big Mike was bigger than Scarface. At least in Michigan. And a couple other states too. California, a few other places. But rap done got fake as hell, so people don't talk to you about Big Mike. He was primed to be the first king of the South. He was Bun B before Bun B. When all Bun B was coming out a little bit, that's what I want to know what Bun B say about Big Mike. Anyway, man. Feds called you. Nigga, please. He needed to report or something. I ain't gonna call nobody no names. I ain't into dissing no niggas. But I am dissing that. That shit is whack. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all have a nice day. Oh, yeah. We gonna get it in. I done had a funny 40-something days. I ain't gonna speak bad about it. I'm gonna take my lumps and my lessons. Bow.
The elite alphabet voice, he is not no FBI agent, bro.
Yeah, Milk, I believe you.
He's stunting.
No, I'm with you, Milk, on that one.
Okay, so are y'all working together on the Free Larry Hoover project? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It's not my ownership of the project is not mine. It belongs to somebody else. I'm just assisting that individual. No, I did put their attorneys in contact with their family attorney. So at this point, it's not even a conversation between me and Jay Prince. It's a conversation between the individual who owns the content on my side, attorney, and their the Hoover family attorney. So it's, for the last month or so, you haven't heard me and Mr. Prince say really anything to each other because there's no need to. Okay, understandable. Mr. Jones, was there ever, I know there was I don't know, did she record an interview? I don't have her name present, but she's out of LA, and she recorded a video.
It's not the
with Mr.
F.B.I.
Hoover at one time.
It's not the
Are you familiar with that?
This guy's crazy. He'll do anything.
Recording a video with Mr. Hoover? Or an interview. She conducted an interview. Oh yeah, we have 5 hours of interview.
This nigga's stupid, dog.
Okay, and it was a female, correct? I don't have her name with me at this exact moment. It's an elderly woman that owns it.
F.B.I. agent. Know who they talking about, know what she do, where she at, and all that. But they don't know her name, and they don't got it at the moment. Man, that shit cat. That shit is cat, bro. For real. Come on, bro. Like an FBI agent calling like that. Nah, hell no, that ain't going on, bro. This was some fake ass shit, bro. This is wild. Look how manipulated he is. He's
crazy. Anyways, ain't gonna be none of that fake shit over here. I'm gonna entertain you for real. You know what I'm saying? We ain't giving out wooden nickels. Yeah, we ain't giving out no wooden nickels. We out this bitch. Ooh, the fucking hand's starting to work. Don't trip. The physical therapist I'm getting. She made me do a rooftop. Can't really do it. It's like just the claw, the rooftop, and the fist working on it. Dog, you won't believe how many people have tried to fight me since I've been down on my hand, ain't been working. What the fuck? But, hey, still a player.